challenges. Who's had a win recently that they'd like to share? Yes, Ed?
I'm not sure how, but it's her fault, okay? My phone in the last...
Whose fault?
Teresa's,
Okay, it's her fault.
yes. My phone has been burning up for the last 2 days with leads. And I got like 4 or 5 people texting me yesterday. I've already got one person texting me today. And it's nice because they're not calling me, they're texting me, so I can get back. I text them back when it's a good time to call, so I can schedule the phone call. And it's like I've already booked 3 appointments for the night.
Awesome. That's outstanding.
How did you do that?
I didn't.
How did Teresa do that?
I'm not sure I haven't had time to talk to her.
Does it matter? Does it matter that you know how?
Oh, it does, because we need to do it, we need to do it on a weekly basis, on every you know, the timing of this was just, and I'm sure it was the accident, but the timing was awesome. Because we have a meeting tonight, and my phone started burning up yesterday, and it's burning up today, so I'm getting the people to come tonight to the meeting.
Excellent.
So the timing was perfect, the whatever we did just,
Whatever she did?
yeah,
Yeah, right.
yeah.
Okay.
I want to interject, because I know about some of this had started, and I remember that the promise was it was going to take about 3 months, and it has.
Awesome. That's
Right?
huge.
So, yeah.
So we don't get to know what it is. Teresa.
Teresa.
We'll just leave the suspense.
Yes.
Talk to
You have an
Teresa.
executive
Come
purchase
talk to me.
assistant.
We need
There you go.
What's your phone number, Teresa? Nice and loud.
219-678-1126.
One more time, nice and loud.
219-678-1126.
Teresa, if you'd like the same thing,
And what's really nice about it, nothing personal, she's not in my office bothering me. And she's not in my office answering phones and getting distracted what she should be doing, which is huge.
Focus.
so is that why it's called an executive virtual assistant?
Yeah, it works really well because she's not in the office. No, I mean, if she was in the office,
I think
if-
it works well.
if she was in the office, she wouldn't get it done.
Mhm.
Because our phones never stop ringing, people never stop coming in. And it's like if she was sitting there trying to work and somebody's calling and she's not answering the phone, I'd say, get the phone. You know what I'm saying? But she's not there to answer the phone, so she gets what needs to be done.
Right. Wow.
How many of the rest of us have that same problem? We're in the office doing stuff all the time, but it's not got anything to do with marketing or developing the message or getting new business.
Right.
It's
And-
taking care of existing business.
And if you do the marketing, what happens, if you ever look at a salesperson's paycheck, it usually goes like this. And what happens, when you start having too much time, you market, you start marketing, your leads take off,
Right.
so your sales go up, and when your sales are going up, now you don't have time to market, so you stop marketing, and then all of a sudden your sales drop again. So a typical salesperson, if you look at their sales, it's like a mountain peak.
And that's a
That's the-
typical business, because businesses are salespeople.
Right.
A small business, you're a salesperson. You're constantly promoting your business. So if you're not consistently promoting, then you're gonna go through peaks and valleys.
Yeah, and that's the roller coaster principle exactly. If you don't have consistent efforts on your business, you're gonna have those loops. So you think, oh, I'm having success, I'm not gonna put efforts into the other stuff. And that's what I help do as well. As other people are busy servicing their current clients, I could still help bring in the marketing. But to have consistent efforts throughout your business, no matter what you're focused on, avoids that roller coaster.
Outstanding. That's huge. And anyone can have that. They just need to contact Teresa.
Yep.
Wow. When's the biggest challenges? Who else?
So I have a big challenge. I'm meeting with someone tomorrow to try to create a partnership. Exactly what this is. And so in my business, I'm trying to partner with a personal trainer. And this woman's name is Melissa, and I've tried to connect with her now for probably 6 or 8 weeks, and we've been just anyway, I won't get into that. But she started her business 5 or 6 years ago, the same time we started ours. I've observed her from afar. They had their own space, and her and her partner had their own business. They recently closed. I went in there the day they were moving out, and it said, let's talk. And she said, that she'd love to, but we haven't been able to connect, and hopefully tomorrow will be the day. But it's, bringing a personal trainer into our business for the fitness end would be phenomenal. And I found out through conversation, she was in a competitive network marketing company and really liked it because she made $5,000 in 1 month. And so for a variety of reasons, they've dropped that they're no longer doing that, and so, but she likes our model, and so I'm optimistic. But part of the reason I like this conversation today is I want to understand the pitfalls of getting into a partnership, because, it's not like I know her that well, but, it might start out great, but how do you keep it going? And I like your part about casting the vision, because if we agree on a vision together, then it'll be a mutual beneficially relationship. So we'll see. Yes?
I have a big challenge. I am in the next 12 months going to spend in the neighborhood of $2 million in construction labor. Starting out with, I have immediate projects for about $50,000 to $75,000 in construction labor. I'm talking about labor, not materials. I am having difficulty getting return phone calls from contractors, and I'm having difficulty having contractors who said, yes, I'll go take a look and give you the quote, to actually get back with the quote. Even recommended contractors.
Really?
Oh, we're very busy, it's going to take a couple of weeks to even be before we get to start, do you want us to look? Well, it's been 3 weeks since you said you'd look.
And they're recommended to you.
Recommended to
But the
me.
problem with contractors right now, they geared down because of the construction boom, crash. So now they're having a hard time gearing up. One of the big framing contractors in Aurora, R.J. Thiel, put, those yellow ugly signs you see people advertise on, put that through Oswego and Aurora saying, I need carpenters. And he's a big framing contractor for all the builders.
Okay, but that's different than what he's got.
Well,
So you're
no,
looking
he's
for people
trying to
you
hire-
can count on.
He's trying to hire those kind of contractors,
But-
and they can't get the people to work for him.
You want a general, not the.
I really want the subs, because what happens for example, on a roof project, you have an insurance claim, you call the roofer, the roofing company sends out a salesman. The salesman makes a commission, and commission is equal to about 1/2 of the total cost of the job. I can't pay retail in my building business and still make a profit. I need to pay the guy who swings the hammer, or the guy who manages the crew who swings the hammer, not the salesman.
And where are these jobs located, just in general?
I have 5 roofs in Rockford with siding. I have a roof in Island Lake and a roof in Hanover Park with siding.
They're all roofs. Okay, I've got 2 guys, but one's a general that built my place, and he's pretty good. But he does make a
those are
profit.
that's just the immediate work. I have a large rehab, 9-unit gut rehab in Rockford, and I have a 12-unit apartment building, tear down a single-family home, level a lot, and build a 12-unit apartment building in Chicago.
Yeah, that'd be more of a general job then.
That's a general's job, yes.
You
But-
need a profitable partner.
I need,
Well, you're reliable.
You
is
need
key,
somebody that you can partner with so that they'll be reliable, because right now, it sounds like you're trying to bid out to the lowest bidder all over the place, and
I'm not even concerned
There-
about the lowest bidder, I'm concerned about a bidder.
Yeah, getting
yeah.
Actually getting them. Could you put those down in an email and send that out so we can have that in writing? I'm trying to write as fast as I can, but you'll know the parameters better.
Sure.
Just in general terms.
Send it out.
Right.
I have somebody in mind too, but
Yeah.
again,
Yeah, no, it's-
I gotta know what those parameters are, so if I could forward it to them, then at least we'd have an idea.
I mean, I can give you pitch on roof and square footage,
No, we don't
you know,
do-
whatever.
Just
Yeah,
the
right.
general information, who you're looking for, subs, general, whatever that is.
But it's interesting that people who refer to you still don't call back. That's
The
quite
problem with
interesting.
roofers right now,
I understand,
they're
because they're
doing
all
so
the hail
much
damage.
hail damage,
They're
you can't,
overwhelmed.
they are overwhelmed. Trying to get roofers, my regular roofers, I'm having a hard time getting them out.
Okay.
And I do regular business with them for years, and they're just,
And we're talking commercial buildings or
These are
residential.
residential properties.
Residential properties.
The 9-unit is going to be, obviously, it's a commercial
Sure.
residential building,
Right.
multifamily.
Right.
And the 12-unit is going to be a mixed use.
Okay. Okay.
I have a contractor who requires it, but it is not a general contractor.
What's he do?
Is it, you know,
I'll general. I used to own an electrical contracting company. I can general. I don't really want to. I will hire somebody ultimately, but to start 5 roofs, I'll general the 5 roofs.
it's a
You
real,
have to.
it's a Romania.
You need to set up your own crew.
This is what I'm, right.
You're trying
Yeah.
to, right?
Yeah, you're trying to hire contractors, you need to set up your own crew.
Set up my own crew.
Parameters, I put the
But the other-
parameters
the other
in
problem
before
is-
And send it out, send it to the group.
The other challenge then is if I set up a crew, I can't tell, you know, a couple of guys I've interviewed. I can't say, Victor, okay, Victor, you're gonna be working 5 days a week for 3 months.
Yeah.
Right,
Uh,
right. I've got a big challenge too. I've been successful at sending out emails and getting referrals. And now I've got an appointment from a referral where I actually did a project and they liked the project and they want to hear more about what things we do. So how do I turn this referral into a profitable partner? While keeping in mind that it was a referral from a competitor / business partner. We do different types of marketing materials. They specialize in boxes, folded cartons, and we produce a lot of different things, but folded cartons aren't one of them. So, you know, I need to keep him happy because I love getting referrals from him. And at the same time, I want to get more business and develop a profitable partnership with this referral. So it's a good problem, but it's still a balance. It's a balancing act. And then I'd also like to reproduce that same scenario with other customers and with other, you know, partners.
What is it special that you did to develop the relationship with this particular client?
This client is a golfer. The profitable partner that gave me the referral is a golfer, and he's in a, like I say, folded carton business, which is something that we don't do, so I can refer business to him, and he is in contact with people that buy marketing materials, and he can refer business back to me.
So you developed a personal rapport with this one customer so you can bring him to your profitable partner
Right.
and make a commission on that or whatever, right?
We're both making more money because of each other.
Have you considered golfing more?
Yeah,
Finding more people in the business
No,
that
I get
golf,
it.
that would be ideal.
it is.
That would be
A lot of
great,
businesses
because I
done
love
on
to
the
golf.
golf course.
I golf a lot, but, yeah.
Have you considered speaking up louder when you're golfing?
Well, or you change people you play with, because you play with
Sure.
the same people all the time. You're not
Exactly.
gonna develop business that way.
Right.
Or
Because
joining a club?
It's
Have
a
you
smaller
joined a
group.
club?
I'm in a club and the people in the club do refer business to me. They don't really understand what it is I do because they're not in the industry. It's a $600 billion industry. There are a lot of different sectors to it.
Have you sat next to these people in the cart? Or you just talked to them in the clubhouse?
Sat next to what people?
These people at the club?
Oh, I sit next to them in the cart, I see them in the clubhouse, I see people all the time. Being able to develop that relationship to the next area where they feel comfortable with you as a business person is a little different than a golf relationship.
Except though, it sounds like the first relationship you built that's really great and you have this fabulous rapport was not a business relationship, it was a golf relationship. So,
It was a business relationship too, because he was actually referred to me by a fellow Lion. I'm in the Lions Club, Lions International, and Lakes of Four Seasons has a branch, and that club was a person that's in the printing business. He was in a different sector of the same business, and he understood what I did well enough to refer me to someone that he had contact with.
Well, one of the things we talk about, all the time is to offer things of value without asking for the sale,
Mhm.
right? Now, you're not doing it out in a virtual world in terms of sending information via email, but you could do it, in the real world, in reality. You find somebody you like, ask them to play golf again anyway, just because you play a lot of golf and because they play golf and they're a decent guy, and build a rapport and find out more about what they do. And if you find out more about them,
Mhm.
perhaps they'd be willing to talk to you a little bit more about what it is you do, and then be a new profitable partnership.
It's asking those questions in the
Biggest
golf,
challenge
in the
question.
golf setting
What's the
to
biggest
narrow
challenge?
down what it is that they do and whether they even have a need.
But it's not about getting in the cart and, with somebody and hoping that they're gonna wanna buy printing. It's about getting in the cart with somebody to golf
Right.
and have a nice time
Mhm.
and sit down and buy a beer afterwards. And because you sat down and you built a rapport and you had a beer and you talked about what a terrible job that the football team did this weekend or whatever, and
Right.
that's why they like you. People do business with people they like.
Right.
And the other part I would add is, once you get that first project, that seems to be what made that other relationship develop. You did a project that you worked with them somehow, so,
I was able to
yeah, you delivered.
Fill-
Oh,
fill a need,
we
a
can start
void,
now.
something that they didn't have already.
Oh, yeah, I don't have one book.
So, was that helpful? Did that help you? Did Mark help you on that? Did Peter help you on getting ideas?
I think talking about it is helpful, yeah. It puts it into a different corridor, a different section of your mind. I'm looking at it in a little different way. Something that
so
I
I'll
didn't
just
think of.
My
It's
wife
always
is phenomenal as a wellness coach, but she is very, very, very indirect. I come in and I'm right to the business at hand. And I sense just from knowing you, you gotta be more direct. You gotta ask the questions and prompt the guy to wanna do business with you. It doesn't just happen, you gotta ask.
Being more direct,
You gotta ask for the order.
that's what this is helping me do.
Yeah, and too many people are so indirect, they never get any business.
Never get to.
What was the question that Amy asked? Are you open to learning something? Is that what she asked? I forget.
Amy Samatos?
Yeah, she said,
Yes.
are you open to learning something?
Mm.
Right, it's a morphine shot to pave the way to tell somebody something that's hard for them to hear. And so that will open them up to be more receptive to learning.
Thank you. Are you open to learning something?
I am.
Until I actually made the purchase from you, which I made the purchase of the bat mitzvah cards because you were part of this group,
Mhm.
I had no idea what you did.
Right,
I did not know that you did not own that printing facility.
right.
And nothing that you told me up into that spot told me that you brokered for that company and perhaps other companies, and that I had no idea of what capacities you had. I presumed that at that spot that I would be giving you a project and you'd be dishing it off to one of the people who personally worked for you, and on top of that person to make sure that your buddy in this group, Mark Elkins, got that project taken care of. I did not know that you were a sales company selling me a
Why
retail
is that
product.
important?
It's important because he's now talking to us about a challenge where people don't understand what he does.
Yeah, that's the,
So here I am, I see you all the time, I talk to you all the time, and
So 1 to 10,
I did
how
not
direct
know-
do you think you are?
I'm sorry?
1 to 10, how direct do you think you are?
5.
Mhm.
So it would cut down a lot of the time and the energy if you were more direct.
I'm trying to be more direct. The point is,
Does
you
anybody
need
know
to tell
what's
people
going on here?
just what it is you do, where your expertise is.
Does anybody know what's going on
No.
here?
You?
I think so.
You always do.
I don't know. It's not hard. And it's just being able to see.
Most
from
people
30
don't
feet.
understand what it is that I do.
I think you conceal
A
it.
lot of people
Okay,
don't.
so Mark, I'm guessing, Mark had an issue with the job, because it's the only reason he.
No, the job was great, it was done great.
Then
Okay,
why
the
would
quality
you
was,
care?
because,
No, that's not the point. The point is, he wants to build better relationships, and people don't understand what he does. I was a printer for 20 years, and I did not know he was a print broker.
Who cares if
I'm
you're
not
a
a
printer or print
broker.
broker?
What
I'm
do you
not
call
sure.
yourself? You
Well,
represent
I'm a
other
sales
people.
rep. I'm
Okay,
a sales rep for
Just a different
a
term.
large printing
So
company.
what does it matter?
I think he conceals it. I think he's concealing what he really does, and by doing so, he obscures his capability.
what he needs to be able to do is clearly articulate what he does.
Agreed,
That he's not doing.
right. I'm not sure if saying I'm a sales broker, I don't know, that's really not what he does.
That he needs to articulate it, because all I'm saying is, we don't understand what he does, and we've been in these meetings with him for months.
Agreed, I totally agree with
So-
you.
so-
I wonder if Mark is creating a distraction with smoke where it becomes less
He's not intending
clear.
to do that. He's trying to make a point, and maybe it's not as clear. I'm more direct than Mark.
Right,
So, that's all.
intentionality, I mean, if you run over one of my children backing out of the, the driveway, I'm pretty sure your intention is not to go ahead and run over my children,
Probably not.
okay? And
Katrina,
so, I'm pretty much, is she gonna hurt you?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure, I already knew his intention wasn't doing that, so that's just wasted time
Okay,
that you share.
So-
The point is, if you go ahead and run over a second one of my children accidentally,
You're gonna kill me.
I mean, that's just stupid.
Okay, but now we're wasting more time. What's really important is he needs to be more clear in what he does.
And if that happened, then we wouldn't be in this conversation.
True.
So we'll save time by getting down to the core.
Okay.
okay, so let me try this. Why don't you just tell people you're in the print business?
Because it's a hugely diverse industry, and I don't necessarily represent every aspect of the print industry.
So
To
which
you,
personality
that
is
may
coming
mean
out?
I print magazines.
Analytical.
To
Very
you,
analytical.
it may mean I print business
Listen,
cards.
listen.
To you, it may be point of
You're
sale.
not listening.
What personality and style is coming out?
Very analytical.
Wait, analytic?
There is definitely analytic in both.
So you're not seeing high enough, you're not seeing 30,000, and neither is Mark. He's higher than you are, but neither one of you are high enough, because you're not in the print industry. I mean, Tom Kuntz, how much does he know about printing? He says, he's on one call, and in minutes, he's like, oh, what industry are you in, print? No, you're not, you're really in communication.
I tell people I'm in the marketing materials business.
Whatever you're telling them isn't working here, so you're either not
Right.
telling them, or it's not clear, and so that's, boom, that's done, he's got it. If he can get it, then he's got it, then you move on.
So here's the question. Telling him that he's not doing it right is okay, but what would be more important is telling him what he should be doing.
Right.
Well, again, if you want to go ahead and raise little children, absolutely. If you're raising mature people, it's like,
He may not,
figure it
he may not be able,
out.
if he's been doing it for this long, he won't figure it out. You gotta help him.
Well, somebody's got to help him.
True.
Why
Well,
would
there's
the
a
whole
business
group
coach right
help
here.
him? Because the whole group, when we get the whole group, then Mark starts getting off in this direction, and the whole group ends up not being productive to anybody. He's more confused after
Okay, but now
talking
you're
to Mark.
way off in discussing how badly Mark's doing it instead of helping Bruce.
What are you doing now?
I think that you're...
What are you doing now?
I'm trying to get back to Bruce's issue.
But you're trying, again, intention.
Okay, I'm going
your
back to Bruce's
intention is-
issue.
But that's not
So
what
you
we're
want to
talking
discuss my
about.
intention or want to talk about Bruce?
This is the inner core. You want to play in the middle circle, you better be ready to play.
Okay, let's go.
You're defensive. I'll crush it in a heartbeat. Nobody else is going to tell you because they don't have the courage and they don't have the strength to go ahead and speak the truth to you. But you know what? I'm
Okay.
not wasting my
I
time.
had not considered that, Mark. Please tell me what it is that you think I'm doing that is so far off track.
Defensive, you're being defensive. You're not being clear, you're not articulating, you're dancing around the subject. I spent 50 minutes with him preparing for this. For you, to where he'd be strong enough to go ahead and do it. Then I spent time with you yesterday or 2 days ago preparing you. I tell you, I mean, this is clear. Mark, you get off into these directions, and then you don't get it. You get locked in, and nobody's strong enough in this room besides me to go ahead and say, knock it off, you're wasting everybody's time. But you know what? I'm here, I'm going to do it, not a problem at all. The inner core is for this. It's for these 4 people to go ahead and get the most value out. The people that aren't in there, aren't in here for a reason. Because they're not strong enough to take the hits, so they're going to get defensive. And when they get defensive, all learning shuts down. It's a waste to go anywhere.
Okay, Mark, I did not realize that I was being defensive. I would like to know.
I'll take him out again if one of you guys don't. Just tell him. Just, it's best. He'll kill you. He will kill you.
No,
That's
yeah, all right, go ahead.
Just tell him. He'll kill you.
Okay,
No,
okay,
We're
you're
too nice.
defensive, you'll be quiet.
Exactly right.
Well,
At
please explain
this
how-
point, you're better off to just stop. At this point. Because we're all consuming a lot of time that's going nowhere. I don't know what your conversation was separately, so it sounds like you were coached on, you guys were coached separately, so I don't know what that was about.
It gives me the right and the privilege to do what I'm doing
Okay.
now, because it's all predicted, it's all understood. This is why they should have been in their own group, and then they could have either muddled through it together and not walk away with nothing, because, you know, Bruce not listening to me and being strong enough with Mark, Mark's not listening to me and being, you know, not getting off on other directions. And so if they want to waste their own time in their own group, you know what? I spent a lot of time
I got it.
to see it, because I know what's going to happen, because people are so predictable.
Right.